Okay guys, back again with my spiral setup. The difference is now this smaller rotor now has 4 magnets on it, as well as this larger rotor now has 4 arms. And I was waiting for these other magnets to come in because I wanted to try an experiment. I tightened the spiral. It's in repel mode, and the big difference now is instead of 12 volts getting this kind of speed, I'm doing it at 5 volts. And I have my meter set up over here. You can see 5 volts, 4.95, and so I'm still getting some decent speed with 5 volts, and that's what I was trying to do. I actually had to move this coil out because I was burning out my transistor when I added the extra 2 magnets. Yeah, so just a couple of changes, and I'm doing this for a reason. I want to see how low of a voltage I can go and still get a decent amount of spin. And it does take a little bit to sync up. I've also removed several of the magnets from the spiral. As you can see, that guy's going pretty good, and I'm using the Bedini circuit, charging old batteries, running it off of my power supply. I'm ashamed to say that I don't know how to set up my multimeter for taking amperage, and the one I want to use is this this analog one. And so I don't know if you guys can see it, but I burnt it out, or I actually burnt out one of the fuses inside of it, trying to get the amps on this thing. And if I can't use that, if somebody out there can help me set this guy up for taking amperage. I know I have to, I'm pretty sure I have to move the positive terminal, but this is your standard meter, and there's the DC voltage as what's coming off of the power supply. And I'd really like to see how much amperage this guy is drawing, or this little guy here. I can't imagine it can't be that much. I mean, it's 5 volts. The power supply is rated for 5 volts, 10 amps. I don't believe I'm drawing 10 amps, but I could be wrong. So that's that. It's, you know, once I get it to sync up, it'll go forever. And I'm thinking about changing it a couple more times, but I ran out of film again. My camera only lasts 3 minutes for taking these vids. Anyway, as I was saying, people say, well, why don't you just put your coil directly on there and try it with 5 volts? And I can do that, but I don't get the kind of speed I do when it's coming off of this guy, because this guy goes a lot faster, and that seems to influence the bigger arm. And so my plan is to get a little 12 volt generator and hook it to that, and possibly run it back into here. I don't think it's going to work unless I can get this thing to spin and sync up just right. I'm also going to try a mechanical hookup by putting a big pulley on here, putting it across here, and putting it across to another pulley that will spin this guy. And again, I don't think I'm going to close the circuit that way unless I find some kind of freakish exact sync up. But I think it does violate the law of conservation, or the first law of thermodynamics. So if you can help me out in the multimeter, that'd be great. I'd like to show you guys some amperage. But this is spinning pretty good for 5 volts. Okay? And these are large magnets on here, and if I were to put coils around here, I'm sure I can get some kind of decent power out of it. But just playing around, you know, I now have the shaft available to me. Alright? Give you a little shot from down below here. Let's see what's going on. Alright. That's it for that thing. Ciao.